My brothers and sisters, may the Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. The disciples of John approached Jesus and said, "Why do we and the Pharisees fast much, but your disciples do not fast?" Jesus answered them, "Can the wedding guests mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? The days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast." The Gospel of the Lord. The three pillars of the Lenten season are fast, and within that abstinence, almsgiving and prayer. And today we find the scriptures sort of focusing specifically on the concept of fasting, and sort of in between the lines of that also the idea of abstinence. And of course we see Isaiah very strongly suggests to the people of Israel that the way they are carrying out their fasting is not the way God wants fasting to take place, that they're taken up with the external observance of things, but in the process have never had any kind of interior transformation. And of course, that's kind of an underlying theme of the whole gospel story, where Jesus constantly talks about the inner conversion that must happen, and that the things we do externally should be only indicative and symbolic of what more importantly is taking place within us. And so Isaiah reminded us this morning that the kind of fasting that God is looking for is to kind of change the tenor, the pattern of the world around us, to recognize the need of those around us and to respond to it. And of course, when we fast, when we eat less or we abstain from something, the idea is, of course, by doing that, we're not only disciplining ourselves, but we also are, at least for a moment or two, realizing perhaps what some other people go through every day of their lives, the hunger some have, that they don't have enough sufficient food per day, the issues that confront people around us that we can sometimes so readily take for granted. I have to admittedly chuckle to myself a little bit as I watch Focus yesterday and look at the news in the morning as they give us the listing of all the places for fish fries. You know, fish fries are very popular during Lent, and obviously there's nothing wrong with them. But it surely is for many people, for most of us, really not a penance. It ends up becoming yet another kind of tradition and custom that we carry out. And so it's the realization again of where the real penance should happen within our lives and hearts. If, for example, you gave up chocolate for Lent, but you're so grumpy and nasty at work with other people, it'd probably be better if you ate the chocolate and did something else. It's the awareness of what we should do to exteriorly kind of comprehend and show what's happening inside us. Today, then, as we continue our journey in Lent, let us be mindful of what these kind of symbolic gestures should mean for us and how we can make them much more concrete in our lives for the good.